Thank you for tuning in with Enchantress. That is me, the Babbler. That is me on this revolutionary high of an uprise at this time. And so, this is kind of video number 2 to a channel video number 1. Although they're going to be named entirely different because they're going to be entirely 2 different messages, although with the same kind of theme of advice for each element: air, fire, earth, water, right? And so this time around for this video, I'm just gonna kind of continue with the same sentiment as video number 1, although it's an entirely different message, and well, not, but you know, everything is connected. So I would advise you to check that one out too, and just further be in tune. So if you're watching this one, make sure you've seen the first one, you know what I mean? And that's just dope, you know? Anyway, so, yeah, I used, with the other one, I used this Oracle deck randomly, and that's just how it was, the starting foundation, you know what I mean? Leading up to a lot of stuff. So, towards the end of video number 1, because this just came in now, and this I wasn't intending on discussing, but just because it tied in, you see, like, just, you know, of the kind of maybe hateful or not so nice energies you might receive from other people, and the coming from a peaceful, non-combative place, even though you want to punch somebody in the face, you know, or, you know, it's just a jokester in me. But, like, you know, even just, you know, our children, you know, my daughter encounters on a regular basis envy from others, and it is that, and it doesn't matter if her personality is not likable by all. We're not all going to be liked by every single body, you know. Sometimes we are you know, we rub people the wrong way. I rub people the wrong way all the time. There's so many people that just can't stand me, but that's their own unhappiness inside. If you really want to go dig down deep into the, ask yourself why. Like, well, you don't stand me, but you can't stand me. You know, people can be obnoxious. I know, you know, like there's reasons, and there's just, you know, vibration. Everything is vibration and stuff like that. But, you know, it's tiresome. Or it can be like, you know, like, what the fudge kind of feeling to encounter such encounters, especially within the spiritual community of people that are saying that they're here to help you. And, you know, the kind of like BS that can be, because I guess that's the human side of our own conditioning or ways of being. Like, I can't imagine, even if someone that doesn't like me and were to come to me because they seek, you know, some kind of guidance or whatever, I can't imagine being cruel or rude or hateful or like misleading or misguiding or something like that, like, because I don't like them or they don't like me and all, you know, this kind of thing. And meanwhile, you know, we here as intuits and people that are here on a healing kind of journey, or like here in support of one another. There's so many crock of BS kind of people out there that are not nice, you know. And she just had to encounter something like that because the person bold-faced lied, didn't want to assist her or help her on a question. This is in the spiritual community, because they're hating on her good, shining vibes. And so they, instead of sharing information, withhold. That's corny. That is corny. And I pray for evolution for that person. But, again, you know, these kind of nonsense kind of things that occur with people because they just can't find their contentment with themselves, that they gotta blast or shade others that might showcase something that maybe they lack or want, or whatever the Stop freaking reading. I don't even care. That's how ridiculous it is. Like, it's like, ugh, blah, get out of my face. I've been just purging right now some friendships from within the spiritual community because it's a crock of shit. They're hateful asses behind a low key style. Never showing, like, you know, and you can, it happens to us all. Speak only peace. What I want most out of anything is peace. So I gotta check myself. Even when things like that occur. Even for my daughter, I'm gonna be like, what's up with that girl? What's her problem? But Shanti, peace. You know what I mean? Finding the alchemy of those kind of seeds to come into your own stance and be like, I hold the reins. Even when injustice, like stupidity like this occurs. It's a matter of just rising above. And I hate to put it like that because there's no above, below, nothing. It's just a preference of a frequency, of a vibration that exists at any given moment in time that is subject to change at any given moment, whether it be this lifetime, this second, this day, this year, next year, whatever. So make sure you check out video number 1. But you know, peace, Shanti, and evolution to each and every one of you. I won't cry for you no more though. That kind of drainage of my sympathy for like that kind of behavior, which condoned a lot of it in my own lifetime, my life experience that I can relate to, of having, you know, is to forgive and to be a doormat. 2 different things. Who would have known? So either way, going back to the advice for each element: air, listen with care. Listen with care. Oh, and we got the dark mirror here. So what is the dark mirror? So what is the dark mirror? Potentially, it is the murky surface of our wounded, scarred spiritual lakes. As we live out each day in our modern society, our spiritual self is under constant pressure, often a neglected and abused child in the cold mansion of our humanity. We do our best to nurture and protect it, but we often fail, distracted by duty, reason, greed, and, unsurprisingly, the pull of the material world. Or it could be the screen of a mobile phone, a laptop, or a pad, or even a larger silent TV screen. Isn't it ironic that we give to these black devices the power to be the windows to our world? Still, even with all the faults of being human, it's a little cliche to see darkness as our only way to be real and true to ourselves. It's not that. Darkness as light, as hope, as energy, is an ingredient to life. A part of the spiritual as much as it is a part of the emotional and of the physical. Darkness is also a metaphor for many psychological processes we go through every day. It's not an unknown world unless you suppress it. Neither is an unexplored and dangerous land. It's just a part of us. Oracles are a simple tool to ask a question and receive an answer. They allow us to delve deep into the darkness of who we are and why. What changes among them is what kind of questions and what kind of answers we shall receive. So this deck of dark mirrors has 5 concepts that they go off of. So based off of just the advice for each element of the sign that I did speak about in the channel elemental message that I will link on this video too, for you to go check out and, like, you know, infuse the two. However it is that you're going to receive it is going to be for you. I am not here to dictate for you your path. That is for you to discover and recover and unleash and unveil and walk for yourself. You know what I mean? Jelly beans? Thank you so much for tuning in with me. I so appreciate each and every one of you. I really, 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 really do. Alright, so this book has 5 concepts. This book. These cards have 5 concepts. Each card within the Dark Mirror Oracle has an aspect relating to one of the following 5 concepts. As you read over each card, use these ideas to understand what is going on in your own spiritual soul. So here we go. We're going to go off of the advice for each element. Air, listen with care. Water, respond with wisdom. Earth, feel from your soul. Fire, speak only peace. Collective, there are plenty of other senses within each of us in need of our attention at this time. Okay? Alright, so here we go. The moon. The moon is about the cycle of nature. It waxes and wanes. It gives us a rhythm to our life in the darkness. Now, all darkness is without light, even if it's with the light of the moon. Okay? So there is grief processing, which is true, especially having had to suffer, you know, from a young child myself, from my first grief episode of, you know, the loss of my mother. So pain, mourning, grief, they happen. They come, they stay. And they can break us apart. Our mind cannot fight grief directly. Instead, it slowly processes through the emotions with time, walking through 5 different stages, known 5 different stages. But here we go. For the book's purposes and for the oracle purposes, I'm going to keep it as sweet as possible as can be, because you know I can babble off and go, you see, it's already 11 or something. Denial. In this stage, we try to numb our emotions to the pain. We're refusing to accept the event which brought on the feelings. We try to delude ourselves with it didn't happen, or that what happened can be turned around. 2. Anger. Ooh, I know this one so well. This one I had to purge. It was like a living hell. Oh, that anger, that fire. If I go back in time, if I can turn back time, I'd be fighting my way. Still, you know, because we have to learn, grow, evolve, okay? Alright. Anger. Once we cannot numb our emotions and act like they aren't there anymore, we give space to anger. We redirect those still too painful to bear emotions outside. We blame, we fight, we scream, we take it out. 3. Bargain. Once anger subsides and we have exhausted our strength, we try to cope with the grief by postponing it, making it less severe or less urgent. We try to talk our way out of the consequences, accepting what we want to hear and rejecting what we don't. Depression. Number 4. As the bargaining is doomed to fail, we take all of our emotions inside, bringing them into the darkest cave of our heart. We let them fester and we hide them from the outside, letting them gnaw at our inside as we bring out a mask of indifference. 5. Acceptance. Ultimately, even our self-destructive effort will fail. Rather than destroy ourselves, we somehow digest these emotions and make them part of our being. We allow sadness in, and by being sad, we express our grief and move forward. Eventually, over time, and sometimes that can be 20 years. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Visual seed. A description of the card is as it looks. It could offer a meditation seed, so look at the card and let it speak to you. Sentence. Reflection upon the card, meaning through a single sentence to think on and meditate. Going dark. We fear the dark, yet sometimes we need to embrace our fear and walk through it. It is not an easy task, because even if we are strong, the darkness can also be strong. It is a part of us and strikes where we are weak or perceived weak or just, you know, in the dark about. It is a necessary process. Sometimes stare into the darkness. Walk into the darkness and let the darkness in. Look into a dark mirror. So these are the Dark Mirror oracles, and they are a part of the advice for each element offered on these timeless messages. So you have air, listen with care. Water, respond with wisdom. Earth, feel from your soul. Fire, speak only peace. So now we are on to air, listen with care. What message from the Dark Mirror is out there for air at this time for all the air signs? 1411. Air, handle with care, listen with care. Triumph of lies. Here we are. Air, triumph of lies. Triumph of lies. Listen with care. Card number 1. Maybe life path number 1. Listen with care. It doesn't have to be one, but it's also the ending and the beginning of something new. An evolution, revolution existing within you, confronting the lies that maybe have sucked you dry, awakened you to the state of your life from a different standpoint eyes. If something hurts me, I change myself so it can stop. A headless mannequin crowds against each other under a cold neon light. They are dressed in luxury clothes and pricey accessories. Among them, one has a crowned skull floating where her face was supposed to be. Listen with care. Not all that glitters is gold. Emptiness is felt when there is nothing under the dress. Let's go dark. The triumph of lies is about appearance. And appearance is always so important in the world. Day by day, it seems more important. Can that be a lie too? We seek to be what the world outside desires, and not necessarily society at large. Our family or partners or friends place judgments on what we should be. In the dress we choose, we carve a mask of expectations, behaviors, and values to live by. Listen with care. It offers stability to ourselves and to our relations, as being honest and true to ourselves can be too tiring. Too easy to make us hurt. Unfortunately, the relationship with our mask is not as straightforward as it feels. Listen with care. Inside the mask, envy grows, vanity takes root, lack of self-confidence becomes a habit. Behavioral conditioning on conditioning. Listen with care. It gnaws at us and hurts us from the inside out. It feels like it is ourselves, but it's not really authentic. It's just a lie we have made habit to believe in. When our lives become a gilded cage and our dress becomes a burden, we should remember that we were born naked. Listen with care. Moving on to water element at this time. Thank you for tuning in. Air, I hope that message resonates with you in every kind of way. Make sure to let me know. Share with me your experience so that we can all further evolutionize our growth and, in support of one another, just be all that we can possibly be. Listen with care. Air, thank you for joining me. Moving on to water at 717. Water, 717. Respond with wisdom. Here we go. Advice for each element. Water, respond with wisdom to the people around you. Respond with wisdom to yourself. Respond. Here we go. I'm going to go with atonement, which is 31-4, building a firm foundations 2. And I'm going to let go of the 5, which has changed significant because it's gilded regret. Not there anymore. There's a letting go happening here, an atonement process that is taking place. Responding with wisdom out of maybe a stationary place you found yourself once upon in, maybe stuck somewhere, coming out, transformation, moon, with wisdom. All right, atonement, respond with wisdom, 31. Respond with wisdom. Accepting the full burden of responsibility, the fair as well as the unfair, with no discount. Gilded in regret. 5. An 11 queen with heavy eyes, her dress as blue as the clearest waters, her crown of thorns and golden clawed flowers, hold a blue orb in her hand. Memories are like floating on the water, safe, warm, and murky, yet they held the scent of death. A woman with long wet hair stares at the haze of a rising sun. Her top is naked, but we can only see her back. Many swords pierce her body, but no blood is shed. She opens her arms and droplets of water fall from her hands. accepting the full burden and responsibility of the fair as well as the unfair with no discount, with no regret. The cage of our memories is the most gilded, coming out, going dark. Accepting pain is a way to survive the pain. Not all things burn, but some should. Atonement is about paying the bills, unadulterated, unfiltered, not negotiated. It is about full and open acceptance of consequences, responding with wisdom. And a little more, it's all about paying for the price of others, letting go of all ifs and buts, but taking it all in and holding yourself responsible. Respond with wisdom. Whether it's ours to take or another's to shoulder, if you have a piece of what puts you at fault, normally you would try to separate it and weigh it evenly with what makes the other at fault, and with that, you want to make it right. Respond with wisdom. A little for a little. But it really works that way, but it really does move anything forward either. Sometimes we need a clean slate. Respond with wisdom. And it's done by going through it all. Paying more than is due. No need to carry the weight of it too as you move on forward, responding with wisdom to your now moment today, having learned many things along the way that may have hurt, may have pierced. Paying more than what is due to create closure. To create closure for yourself, for others. You take the dark in so that others can stay in the light, even if they don't deserve it. Even if you don't deserve it. Because you don't. Responding with wisdom to the blood already shed, felt, the stab wounds experienced. Just a do. Moving on to earth cycles. Okay, thank you, water, for tuning in. I hope that message resonated with you in every kind of way. Moving on to earth at this time, 2244. Here we go. Earth, feel from your soul. Feel from your soul, for you are gold. Feel from your soul, get to know. Feel from your soul and do something outside of your conditioned box of belief systems that might be turning into a crock pot of whatever it is that you want to now set yourself free from this chain or deadbolt. The temple of my body. Feel from your soul. The temple of my body. Your body. Earth, feel from your soul. I feel I am not worth enough. Whoa, heavy energy here. A succubus-like creature with claws resembling nails holds a very thin silver chain, and the pendant on it appears like a crimson tear of blood. My body is the temple of my soul. It has no secrets to me. I can even affirm this out loud, you see. My body is the temple of my soul, set free. It has no secrets to me. This card is about the darkness in the body. Culture can make us take distance from what is our corporality. So many religions and customs, for instance, so many ways to demonize sex in many different ways, lacing it with guilt as an assassin could lace food with poison. On the other side, we are collaborators in cheapening our bodies, hiding it, being shamed by it, selling it, giving it away for nothing. What is the cost of living? It happens when we accept an abusive relationship, or when we take terms that go past our own conditionings, when we refuse to respect the body of another too. Or more simply, when we do things like being too lazy to eat healthy, or whenever we just do things to comply. That's not a state of peace, if you know what I mean. A succubus kind of energy. Our body is a temple. It cannot be defiled. We can take a shower, raise our chin, feel proud. It is our body. It is ours. Feel from your soul. Meet with your soul. Thank you, Earth, for tuning in. I hope that message resonated with you in every kind of way. If it does, please do share. You know, that applies to water too. I don't think I said please do share. But, you know, go tell water. Hopefully you have earth and water in your chart, and maybe you heard the whole damn message. So that is great for you. But moving on to fire to speak only in peace. Fire. Here we go. Fire. 2532. I started on fire. Speak only in peace. Ooh, that came out quickly. Is this me? 4. Card 4. I was born on day 4. Fire. December 4. Alright. Here we go. 4, 5, 6, 7, 4. Fire's message. Speak only in peace. Is this me? I cannot recognize myself, but I'm still me. Diamond in a rough. Be tough. A dark fantasy female warrior with pale skin is enshrouded by a scanty spiked bikini armor. She holds a fanged bat, hilted sword against a background of fire and ruin. Sentence. I cannot recognize myself as I can't remember the road that led me here. How can I see the road ahead? Speak only peace. This card is not about an affirmation, but rather a question. Is this me? What is me? Speak with peace. Can I recognize myself? Maybe yes, maybe no. But for sure, I lost the road I had once. The last time I stopped to really think about it. Speak only peace. In my heart, I feel maybe like the high school girl that went to the prom, but truly I am now 45 and I weigh 3 times that size. Not true. But you get the message here too. It's just the explanation, the example that they're giving. Okay, here I am looking up for this and this. But is this me? You know what I mean? Speak only peace, even into yourself, you see. Okay? I feel my true self as this kid that wanted to play the soccer with the Real Madrid or something. All the while punching numbers on an Excel file out in an insurance office. Is this me? Maybe that is the fire that's happening. Speak only in peace, even when you are in the middle of maybe a tower crumbling down, or maybe you're picking up the pieces of that tower somehow and you're rebuilding your ground from down and up, like however it is, you know, what's up. Is this me? Or, you know, just getting into that motion. But you see, I'm seeing this picture a little bit differently here too, because she's there. Is this me? This is me, putting down my sword, being all that I am free at last, warrior. Maybe, you know, taking a stance and diving into even the feminine lands of this place, of this new space that is evolving, that is unknown, and standing your ground in that. When did we last look at ourselves in the mirrors? Do we like what we are, who we are? Make no excuses, because the choices which we made what we are our own responsibilities. It's time to dream anew. If the old dream is alive, it's time to go back to it. Message for some fire. Speak only peace. Or maybe there are certain things that you're bringing into this new NWO world of order, of alignment, that carries with it the wisdom and knowledge of things pre-existing to this point of now, and you're asked to bring into fruition. this align with peace. Thank you, fire. Thank you to all the elements, air, water, earth, fire. There are more elements than that, but don't get me started. That's not what this video is about. But this is advice for each element using the dark mirror oracles. If you like this kind of message and it resonated with you, please do share. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also hit that notification bell too, so you know when I do upload. And truth be told, I am living from my soul, mind, body, heart, and soul. I'm dreaming big. Alright, so if you like this, cool. Also check me out on Instagram. Follow me there at Enchantress, ENCHANTRESS, the one and only. And also my blog, enchantingbabble.blogspot.com. Thank you. Powered by Green Monster.